All right, does this work? Please work. Are we live? We should be. Actually, let me... I don't know why I'm looking at that one. Are we live? Actually, we should. I think we should be live. You are live. Okay, that's good, Slider. That's good. It's just... there was a YouTube streaming update, and then my software, Streamlabs, I had an update, so I don't know if this stuff works. J Kill was here earlier. He was here like 30 minutes ago. And put a little fire emoji. Slider, what's up? Adrian, what's going on? I know you saying hello earlier. All right, we're live. We're live. Jason Peenam. Yep, all the usuals are back. What's up, guys? Nicely done. Yeah, it's been a minute. Sorry if I sound... It's not that I'm sick. I was just having I was just super congested like an hour ago, and I don't know if you guys use these it's not like a nasal irrigation thing, but you kind of squirt water through your nose to cleanse it out. You put salt in it and stuff. So I did that about an hour ago, and I've just been blowing my nose constantly. So if I sound congested and stuff, that's kind of why. That's good. Pixel Trader, what's up? Bullish on vibes. Let's go. What's up, Pixel? Yeah, it's been a minute. And I kind of knew I wanted to start streaming or, hanging out again at the beginning of the new year. But, yeah, we're going to make a little tier list video. Not a video, but we're going to make a tier list today. And I want to have you guys get involved, too. Because I do think there's a lot of cool collectibles that came out this last year. Obviously, it's... Sometimes I forget, how good we really had it. The first 2 years of Veve, how many FAs we had. Of course, some collectibles had a lot of mints and stuff, but when you compare the drops that we've had, more recently compared to previously, I mean the market conditions are just different, right? But what's with these market prices not retracing? Some retraced, right? What's taught at right now? That's kind of my main indicator that I use to figure out what's going on with the market. If Veve will work today. So I've also been brainstorming some ideas the last few weeks about, I think what I'm going to do is do one stream a week and then one video a week or something like that. But I do want to do some video ideas. But for today, okay, Todd's up to 570. I'm pretty sure, has he always been that? I've been tracking him pretty closely. All right, close that ad. Kind of crazy. We're I want to chat Veve, and we tune in. It's wild. We still here. Yeah, I just want to. I don't know. It seems like a lot of the Veve content right now is just kind of a hangout type of thing, which is completely fine. I totally get it. Honestly, there's not much going on right now. And not just Veve, but just the NFT space in general, right? Cryptoys is coming back, which is exciting. I mean, I bought some cubes and stuff a long time ago. I didn't open anything. All I did was buy some cubes during the BOGO era. And then just didn't touch anything. So I got some golden tickets. So I'm kind of curious, do I open them or do I just sell my cubes when that market opens up? I'll have to look into Cryptoys at some point. I just haven't recently. I've just been seeing some stuff posted on X for the most part. But things are slowing down a bit, right? We really right now on Veve, it seems once every 2 to 3 months we really get one good drop that everyone's excited about, or that we know is guaranteed profit, or that we know it's going to sell out pretty quickly. Yeah, let me look at Todd really quick on this screen. Yeah, I've noticed gem prices. Todd was at like 500 early January, then jumped up to like 600. And I mean, I would just give it time. Honestly, Todd is one of those collectibles where it does fluctuate a lot. And that's actually one of my video ideas I had. I already have like 4 or 5 like video ideas that I want to do. You know, obviously one of them's like 10 things that I think Veve's doing very well, 10 things that I think Veve should improve on. One of them too is that, you know, I think after a while, like fees on certain collectibles and stuff is really going to be the key, right? You look at Todd and a lot of the early black and white collectibles, like a 2.5% fee. That's a big deal, especially when you're selling collectibles for hundreds of gems or thousands of gems, right? Versus Disney, which is 8.5% fee. So at least people that are looking to cash out, right? Yeah, we were spoiled early on. Still some good stuff now, but comics, mostly big books, dropped already. Yeah, like the biggest book we had, that's why I was like, do I even do like a comic one, like the top 10 comics? Like really, there's only like 2 big ones I think that happened. And we can maybe look at them towards the end of the stream. Obviously, Silver Surfer #1 was like huge. That was the one that sold out, and you know they increased the mint numbers, but still sold out immediately. And it's like one of the most profitable comic drops we've had in a while. And I think there was like one other one that did pretty well. Check Miles, of course, yeah. Candy's in Lumbo, yeah. I don't know what's going on with Candy. Yeah, because I did my main account, because I did sell a good amount of my grails and all that kind of stuff like a while ago, probably like 2 years ago. I still kept like a lot of the OG stuff or a lot of the commons that like weren't worth a whole lot, but a lot of like the SR, not secret rare, but I guess legendary, and the like ultra rare, I forgot what they're called on Candy. Like a lot of those comics I sold like over 2 years ago, like around 2 years ago, and like cashed out. But I still had some like good stuff on there. So I'm not sure what's happening with that either. So yeah, there's a lot of, once I start streaming more, and you know, maybe I'll kind of brush up more on like what's going on in like the general NFT space for the most part. Because like, yeah, what's going on with Candy, Cryptoids is like kicking things up. There's some other like NFT projects that are doing decently well. I think there was another one I was looking at, but I forgot the name of. Choo Choo, what's up, dude? Yo, how we doing? We're doing good. Even though I know these are terrible for me. Celsius has been like my new addiction the last few months. I still drink coffee in the morning, but not as much as I used to. And then usually early, late afternoon, I really shouldn't be, but Celsius just tastes way better, and it's like less acidic than like Monster, and plus like there's less of it like in a can, so I'm not chugging it incessantly. But yeah, today we're gonna be, actually I'm gonna hold on one sec. Yeah, I mean, today we're gonna just do a top, I'll be honest, I got this idea, like a top 10 tier list for like 2025. I'll be honest, I got this idea from oh my god, I'm completely drawing a blank. Kid Arcade. He did a live stream, dude. I was trying to find the live stream and which one it was, but it was over the last like couple weeks or so, but I could not find it for the life of me. Like there's a certain section in the stream where he actually talks about, you know, he gave his opinion about like the top 10 collectibles. Yeah, I don't have a lot of them, like 10 of the bigger books, just like common and uncommon. Yeah. I did get pretty lucky. I did get a like legendary, I don't know if it was the first appearance of Flash or which one it was, but I got some good like legendary books, and I sold them all like a little over 2 years ago and just cashed out. I think some of them did go up in price a little bit, or like, yeah, a bit more after I sold it, but then now they're back down for the most part. Let me zoom in a bit more. So yeah, today, so what I'm going to plan on today, I already have the template named. I'm also making this like a community thing, so I might like copy and paste this and like attach it to my X post or whatever. So like, oh, if you want to do the tier list yourself, you can. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go down this list of drops from the previous year. And then also, if you guys just want to shout out any collectibles that dropped last year, and let me know which ones you think should be part of like the top 10 list. I'm also going to make like an honorable mention category. So there's like S, A, B, whatever. But I think I might do like an honorable mention, just put like HM or something like that for honorable mention. Because I do think there was some collectibles that were like good or like looked fantastic, but were either just like too expensive, too many mints. But I like the direction that like Veve's going in with like the quality or whatever it is. So yeah, this is November. I'm going to try and see if I can load the whole year first. Just from scrolling down like this. That's good. No, I'm glad to see all of you guys here. It's been a while. It's like Slider, Choo Choo, Jason, Pasternak, Pixel Trader, Adrian. And I think this is the easiest way just to kind of see what drops. I will say Samurai Vader is probably somewhere on the list. I mean, that one does look very, very good. I did put the AT-AT in like the thumbnail, but I'm not sure if it's like a top 10 collectible that dropped last year. Obviously, Ryu is a big one. I put him in the thumbnail. And then whichever ones you guys shout out, like we'll look at it and like we'll talk about it in chat. And then I'll just save the PNG of it, and then afterward I'll just create the tier list, and then like we'll kind of start voting on which ones are the best ones. I don't know. What do you guys think about the Coca-Cola bottle? I'm not a big, like, I know there's some like weird criteria that some people have, like whether it's like scarcity or how unique it is, or if it's like the first one to drop of its kind. Because I think this Coca-Cola bottle, that was the first public, like one of one, right, that we've had. Before, you always had to go to that auction page on Veve. But like this Coca-Cola bottle, for this one, let me see if I can... Yeah, this was like the very first like public one where like just anyone could just win it. You didn't have to put in, you know, you didn't have to bid 10,000 gems to like win it automatically. Is this the one that had the one of one bottle, right? Special edition. It was this one, right? Yeah, it was this one. The hobble skirt. Yeah, that was the one of one. And so this was like the first public. So that's, I don't know if that deems it like a top 10 spot, but it's definitely cool. I really hope Veve does do like more one of one stuff in general. All right, we'll close that. So we're in June. I'm just going to keep scrolling down. If you guys see any that pop out to you. I already have like 3 or 4 in my mind that I'm like, these are unquestionably like top 10 for the year. Remember Kid Arcade was all over Grover. I'm not a big Sesame Street fan. Like I know people like it, but and that's the thing with like Veve. People are like, oh, there's a whole lot of like collectors out there of like Sesame Street or this or that or you know whatever it is. Like I get it, but those people are also fans of Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Universal Studios, like whatever, right? Back to the Future, like I don't know. I feel like there's just way more things that people are bigger fans over that people would like spend gems on first. There was an early drop. So I do think Galactus is somewhere on this list. This was like a very early drop. This was almost, what's today? The 12th, right? Or 13th? So yeah, in about a week or whatever. So like this Galactus drop is basically almost exactly a year old. I almost forgot about this drop. But I do think Galactus, I mean, that was pretty high quality. The burn mechanic for a Silver Surfer was pretty cool too. But I guess like one of my criteria too for what's considered like a top 10 collectible is kind of like are these collectibles still going to be talked about, or people that are going to want to buy it? Like, are people still going to talk about it like 3, 4, 5 years from now, or even further than that? Like, don't get me wrong, I do think like the animated Mighties, like they're cool. It's a unique concept, but it's like, are people really going to be starved to buy a animated non-FA whatever version of a collectible or whatever it is, right? That's kind of my take on it. Epic of VV, yeah, all the content, not the content creators, but all the some of the VV people got added to the kind of collectible list, which is pretty cool. Like, I thought this aspect was pretty cool. I know the Dan and David were released a while ago, but this was pretty cool. I will say that I haven't looked at the VV Magic animation because I don't own one. Maybe I'll buy one at some point. But I will say the Corey and the My Collectibles are pretty high quality animations. I would imagine like if they're anything like those other two, the VV Magic collectibles, also pretty, like the animations are actually pretty darn good. So good on Veve and Epico for like making actually like really good anime. Because if they were just static, I'll be honest, I wouldn't have even bothered by it. Maybe I just would have bought one just to support it. But the animations are actually pretty decent on those. Sorry if I'm trying to mute myself when I blow my nose. Yeah, with limited mitts, it makes it more difficult, especially with the like independent artist stuff. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. Like, I do think, I don't know. Like, were there any like super limited, highly sought after, high quality, independent artist drops that happened this last year? Wow, how are you doing, bro? It's been a long time since I last saw your streams. Have you been on the reg? I've been doing all right. Could be better. But just glad to be making content again, hanging out with you guys. I mean, also, there was just a period of time where I just felt like there was just not a lot going on Veve or just the NFT space in general, crypto, whatever it is. Just everything was just going down, right? But for now, honestly, like in a weird way, like I still love Veve. Obviously, I still have a lot of collectibles. I still talk about it. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of way more excited for the collect chain. Like, I know that's their main partner is Veve, and it's like, but I don't know. I feel like really the collect chain is going to be the thing that's going to enable a lot of the utility and gamification and all the cool stuff that people have been asking for on Veve for like half a decade now, right? Like, Veve's been out for like 5 years, and people have been asking about all kinds of gamification and real life utility and all that kind of stuff. And like Veve's done an okay job doing that. I think they kind of tried some gamification stuff with like the Veveverse, but honestly, the Veveverse is just kind of a glorified showroom. Like this was gonna kind of side tangent. This was gonna be one of the things I was gonna suggest like Veve kind of like improve, or like things that they can like do a bit better, which is like the Veveverse, because like there's so many times where I bought collectibles like for the Veveverse and it just doesn't even, you can't even use it in the Veveverse, or like the animation's broken or whatever the reason is. So like I want to use it more, but without gravity or gamification, like I can't even jump in it. Like I can't really do anything with it. So that's why when it first came out, I kind of just did like still shots and like kind of cool pictures and camera angles and posted them on Twitter like a long time ago. But like right now, like, I mean, the building the Veveverse thing is kind of cool, but I don't know, until there's like utility, or you can host a space with like a whole bunch of different people and there's a reason to, and there's airdrops or whatever's going on. Like it's kind of hard to really get into it, at least for me personally. Like I think I was going to make a post on X at some point, like literally when's the last time you've used the Veveverse or like created something or joined a space or whatever, like in the last like month or year or whatever. And I think I don't know, I'd be surprised if more than 5% of the Veve community uses the Veveverse like on a semi-regular basis, like once a month. Grogu and Mando and Grogu, the Trooper helmet, Galactus, yeah. Maybe Assassin's Creed. Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. We'll start doing some. All right, we'll start the tier list thing. I think unquestionably, and I'm just going to do it first, is like Slider said, Grogu is unquestionably. Now, Mando might be a different thing. I mean, Mando didn't even sell out. I'm kind of curious to see how many Mandos are left, to be honest. We getting there? All right. Yeah, there it is. Open a new tab. So I don't want to lose the page. Save image. And then I'll actually get rid of these. I know you guys can't see it on my screen, but whoa. Okay, so right here, so we're going to pull in Grogu. So there's Grogu. Unquestionably, Grogu is going to be on this list. Now, Mando, I don't know. Do you guys think Mando's a top 10? Did it even... 70 gems. Didn't even sell out. How many are left? Editions in circulation. Yeah, it's like barely, it's a little over halfway sold. I do think Mando's a beloved character, but it just didn't perform that well in the market or in the store, like, at all, surprisingly. I actually thought that one would have sold out too, but... And then you also said... So you said Mando and Grogu, huh? I don't know, maybe we'll go back to Mando. Galactus. Let's see what else we have. I thought there was another collectible. I will say, I don't think it's a top 10 collectible, but like Rogue, Jubilee, and Gambit. I think at least one of those three needs to make it. Probably Gambit or Rogue. Jubilee's like maybe an honorable mention just because... Honestly, the quality on these are like very, very high. And they really nailed the, like, you know, the 1990s version of Jubilee, the cartoon version, very well, and the different outfits and stuff. But we can always come back to it. What do you mean top 10 collectible by which metric? So it's subjective. The metric that I probably should have come up with some like metrics, right? I think part of it is like how well it did in the market / store, right? Like, did it sell out or did it at least sell well? Is it a collectible that people are still going to want to buy or talk about, you know, years from now, kind of thing, right? Are people going to be talking about Rabbids and how badly they want to collect Rabbids 5 years now, or are they going to talk about collecting like first appearance X-Men characters or Winter Soldier? Winter Soldier actually, I think Winter Soldier actually deserves a top 10 spot, even though it didn't sell out. Also, the quality of the collectible too. I do think this year really suffered from just a lot of different versions. Like I said, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versions of this one character. Like, if they just did this as if they cut this down to like 3, if they did a common, a special edition common, and then an SR, kind of like what they did with Spidey 2099, I think all these collectibles like Rogue, Jubilee, Gambit, Winter Soldier, like they all would have sold way better. They could have even charged like a slightly higher price for them too, right? Maybe not Mando, depends on what else makes it in. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. I do think Winter Soldier is a very top contender. I'm a little hesitant for Spidey 2099. Like, I know it was profitable. It'll probably make the list just because it's actually the first Spider-Man drop. Like, the first actual Spider-Man drop we've had of like Peter Parker Spider-Man in what, like 3 years? Since like 2021, 2022. Nope. Tucson says no. Yeah, let's like, I will say it was one of like 3 profitable drops of last year. Like this Grogu, I would argue Silver Surfer #1 was a drop that, like, unless you landed the rare, you pretty much were guaranteed profit, or the uncommon or whatever. Like there was really only like 3 drops this whole year that was pretty much guaranteed profit if you landed it. Maybe Ryu if you landed the SR, right? So like there's 4. So like once every 3 months, Veve will give a drop where it's like, okay, if I just land it, I'm guaranteed profit and I can flip it or keep it, whatever you want to do, right? But Spidey Bulge, I'm not too sure. Some people are calling like Spidey Bulge or whatever. I'd rather look at other collectibles. I mean, we can always circle back to this. But I do think this is a contender. Now, Spidey 2099, I do think this, I just like this drop system. I think they should do more of this type of drop system where, yeah, of course you land the common, it's not ideal, but if you land the secret rare or the special edition, they all look different. They all look good. I do like this drop. Even though I didn't go for it at all, I like the way the drop was set up, I'll say. If they have a crafting for the metallic Spider-Man, which is non-FA, it could be a good drop. Well, I mean, didn't my collectibles like essentially confirm like, yeah, there's going to be another kind of drop or craft or whatever kind of collectible mechanic involved with it? So, but metallic Spidey is just way too expensive now. It's like 400 and something gems right now. Like me personally, I'm not touching it. If it was in like the low 200s or like high, like, you know, 185 or whatever, like maybe, and just go for the spec play, because I do think they might do some red metallic stuff. I mean, they might not do another red metallic till like July. I don't know, like the red metallics are so inconsistent on like when they actually do the drops. All right, we'll keep looking. Fantastic Four, this one was, again, another victim of just 6 different versions of kind of the same thing. And don't get me wrong, I mean, these 4 are all kind of different enough. But I think we could have done without, I don't know what this red suit's supposed to represent. I don't know if it's like from the movie or, let me see. The Golden Age Human Torch. These are all FAs, right? Or no, the Human Torch. No, we already got it a while ago, obviously. See, I don't get it. So the Spidey 2099 was also 40 gems, but there's only 3 versions, way less mints, but this one has 6 versions. I think way more mints. I do like how they're all different enough to where they're not just like tons of copies of each other. Now the common and uncommon, I will say the special edition look way too similar. The only difference is the slightly like less black or whatever around the collar, and that was it. And it's less of like a turtleneck or whatever, but maybe do I have? Okay, just that. Oof, I don't want to look at Buzz Lightyear. The speeder bike did surprisingly well. Dude, I will say the speeder bike really threw a wrench in like the whole market. Or when these two went together. Now, I will say I was a little not upset. Like I didn't care. I didn't own the collectible. Like I didn't care. But the fact that I think, and remember initially Veve said you needed to own the Scout Trooper from the store and not the market in order to use this burn. And then they said, okay, now we're going to go back and make it to where like even if you made a market purchase, you can do it now. I don't know, like that didn't really give people a whole lot of incentive to actually like buy from the store and hold on to it. Now that like the last few burns are always like you can buy from the market too, unless they kind of tell you ahead of time. There's kind of really no reason to like buy something from the store and just hold on to it anymore. At least that's my takeaway. 2099 should probably make it. I think so too. Let's start like actually adding stuff to the list because I'm taking way too long. All right, let's do 2099 before I forget. I don't know if I just add the collectible or just like the whole cover. It almost should be like the top 10 drops because I mean this both has like the special edition and the SR, right? All right, let's just save this thing. I'll just label as 2099. There we go. Good enough. All right, so, whoops. Oh, I guess I have to select both. All right, I'll just kind of update it as we're going along. I know it's kind of hard to see, but Spider 2099 is there. Maybe it should have been like the top 10 drops of the year instead of top 10 collectibles. All right, I think Samurai, even though I didn't go for the drop, because I just knew that there was going to be like a 75% chance I was just going to instantly lose gems. Maybe a bit higher. I don't know, did you guys go for a lot of drops this year? Like, how many of you guys actually went for Samurai Vader? I'll be honest, I passed on most drops this last year. There's a lot of drops I passed on. We can put the SR Vader in there because I think that's the one that really is the best, right? Wasn't there a craft for this too? There was like a secondary, like... I thought they added a craft for this like a few months later. Yeah, this one. What was this one again? You had to burn plus 10 gems. Okay, an old Vader plus 10 gems to get this. And did this sell out? Yeah, this one did sell out. Interesting. Fadescape, what's up, dude? Let's go. Yeah, we're looking at some collectibles from last year. This one's weird. Like, why not just add it to the previous drop? Or maybe they're trying to spread out their drops. All right, let's add Ryu. Obviously, that's an obvious one. And then Vader. Let's do the SR. I'll just save this image. Samurai Vader. Have you guys noticed this on the market? Or is this just me? I've seen it happen on my phone sometimes. But when you go to here on the market, sometimes it'll show like the store poster of the collectible rather than the collectible itself. Like if you look at this Leonardo Classic, it looks like the poster, right? It says like 2,987 editions. I'm willing to bet if I refresh it, it'll like show the actual collectible. Yeah, now it just shows the collectible. So I'm not sure if it's a VV market thing or coding thing, but it's like sometimes it'll show the collectible. And then other times it'll show like the promotional poster, kind of like you see here with the speeder bike. Like it doesn't show the collectible, it shows like the poster for it. Yeah, like now it shows the collectible and not the poster. Yeah, probably the whole drop. Are you talking about for Samurai Vader? I think the real winner was just the SR, right? Like, what's the SR doing? It's at 700 gems. Also, the floors of just collectibles in general right now are just like super, super thin. So some prices for some things are just super high right now. I will say the ultra rare does look cool, at least the way his stance is and everything. That one was profitable. But I think the rare is below retail, right? Yeah. What's the retail for this? 50 gems? Yeah. One in 12 odds, 1 in 44 for the SR. I went for comics, but not many collectibles. Maybe a couple. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything you guys see that I'm not. We already added Ryu. Dude, I don't know. These all looked like a little... I know they're part of the comic, but these all just looked a little like too goofy for me. To be honest, I will say the common, the Beyond Destiny one looks kind of cool. Like this one. This one looks kind of cool, but these other ones just looked a little too silly for me. This one looks like a luchador version of 2099. Like with like the cape and like, I don't know, all kinds of like, I don't know, it just looks weird. There's a Pokemon that looks like a luchador or whatever, and that's what this reminds me of. So that's why it's like, it was kind of hard to take it seriously, at least for me. Samurai should make it. So the whole drop. All right. I'll go back and fix it later. I think Leonardo, I think the obvious one, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, needs to make the list too. What's the ultra rare selling for right now? This one on the market. It's above retail, right? Yeah. All right, so I think for a few of these, we just need to put the whole drop. Is there a... I'm trying to put like a good picture for it. Ooh, that's the classic logo. I didn't notice that till now. But yeah, that's a cool kind of classic logo. Whoops. All right, for now we'll just let's say this is Mikey. What the? Whoops. Okay. Is this January? Okay, so this one's until later. I don't know. Should we do Ken as a separate drop? Or is that just part of the Ken Ryu package? Or are they just pretty much one and the same? They are technically two separate drops, even though it's from the same IP. Actually, another one I meant to add towards the beginning of this year. I think Galactus. I know a lot of people kind of forgot about this, and this was this the last evolvables that we had on Veve since then? Was Gambit an evolvable? Gambit was an evolvable, yeah. And I think so was Rogue? No, Rogue was a standalone drop. No, she was an evolvable too. Okay, I take it back. There's no way Jubilee was. Let me go to Jubilee really quick. I know I'm kind of jumping around, so I apologize. Where's Jubilee? Yeah, she was a drop, so that's kind of weird. All right, whatever. All right, you seen that on the newer drops? The floors have been really thin for a few months now, especially with comics. Yeah, there's just no activity going on, right? I think everyone is just, ever since ever since Collect has, like I said, I'm more excited for the Collect blockchain than anything. Like, I like what Veve's doing, but I think Veve is mostly just going to be the connection with all these big IPs and licensors that is going to help them connect and understand blockchain more. Because I really don't. I'm not sure how much more these licensors really understand about the full capabilities of blockchain until Collect showed up, right? Like, I think for a lot of these IPs and licensors, they just saw this as just another revenue stream. Like, okay, cool, we can just make money this way. But especially since we got these drops, a lot of people were kind of not really like asking questions or whatever, but right when we got these like New Year drops of like David and Dan and all that stuff, right, based on your MCP level, this really gave an idea to people of like, all right, really how many active users are on Veve, right? Because we have 150 people that are at level 100 or above, right? Because you have to be level 100. Yeah, level 100 collectors. And then, yeah, this tier, I got a tier 5 because I got like level 55, and you have to be like level 50 or higher. So this is for 75 to 99. There's 600. So these are people that are level 75 and above, and we have 750 people so far. And these are people that are 50 above, 2,000. So we're at, what, 3,200, 3,600? Tier 4 is level 35 to 45. 4,000. And I think anyone that's tier 3 or below, like those are old. I mean, you could still be tier 3. You could have collected like pretty heavily for a few months back in like 2020, maybe not 2020, but 2021. Yeah, 2021 and maybe like early 2022. Like if you just collected a handful of things and just never touched Veve again for 3 years, like you could still be tier 3 for the most part. So like you could argue like these may be like inactive users. But I think after we saw this, I think people are starting to realize like there's really only like a handful of, only a few thousand active users on Veve. Like anyone that's between tier 1, 2, and 3, those accounts could have been inactive for years, but you can still get airdropped or get one of these, right? Anyway, that's kind of beside the point. All right, let's try and get up to 10. Give me one sec. Yeah, they have a strange look. Turtles. I think we're struggling to get 10. Yeah, we might have to... there's a small chance we might have to throw in the Silver Surfer #1 comic to get up to 10. Or we might have to broaden our expectations of a top 10. So I think Galactus is one. I think this drop actually sold decently well. And on top of that, it's still the first appearance of a major supervillain of a top IP or brand. All right, where are we at right now? All right, we're at, and I need to update the Vader one too. We might have to add Ken. That's an option too. Like kind of, fluff it out a bit. Oh, yeah, we're gonna fix the Vader. Just kind of put the whole drop. Where's like the... Interesting. Okay, I guess I have to... Okay, so the cover of it is just the common. Yeah, they don't really... Probably don't want to use this as like the picture for the thing. I don't know. I also think too they really need to up these, like complete the set and earn a one-time 100 MCP bonus. There's a lot of people on Veve that make this within 6 hours. Just passively, right? Like my collection isn't even that big. How much am I making? I'll just do this really quick. I really don't want to lose these pages. Why is it not showing my profile on the top right? There it is. Profile. Yeah, what is this music? There we go. Okay. I'm like, what is that? What was that song? Yeah, I'm making 900 MCP points per day. I've even sold some things too, somewhat last like couple months. 100 MCP, people make that within hours, just being on the app. Like, I really think they need to up the numbers. Like, give us at least like 1,000, 5,000 MCP points. I don't know. I'm excited for Collect Chain. If we get some sort of trading, that would be great. I hope we get. I mean, trading would be cool, but I'm just not sure how that's gonna play. I'm sure some licensors might be chill with it, but others might not. You got the rare? Okay. I'm really surprised Veve doesn't have a... You know what Veve needs to do? Like, I just realized, like, whenever they release a promo pictures and stuff, like, they need to have, like, a picture or something like that with, like, all the rarities, all the collectibles on one screen or on one thing. Like, it's actually kind of surprising. Like, this is, like, the best they have, but... You know, it's like these are tiny, tiny pictures of, you know, the secret rare or whatever. I guess we'll just leave it as the secret rare for now. Like, I know the whole drop was good, but also need to close this page. All right, we're also going to add Ken, because Ken was a big drop. Any Star Wars? Like any, like AT-AT, is that one to even take into consideration? Think I'm like 55. Slider, are you? Okay, yeah. I'm like 55, level 55. For half a second, I thought you're 55 years old. I'm like, I don't know, you were... that old. Not that it's old, but... Yeah, let's just do the SR for these. Yeah, like, I really wish Veve had a... Like, I really hope that their future, like, promo pictures or whatever, like... They have a picture where just is all three collectibles, like, side by side or some cool way, like, all in one picture versus... each one individually. All right, and this is the new year, so. I'm kind of curious which one of these performed the best. Probably this one, the tree. 2,400. 400. 400. Yeah, 400. So almost all these are going for like just shy of 400, but the tree, is it like the most scarce or something? 25. I thought these all had like an equal chance of, yeah, they're all 25, but I guess with the tree and the Veve logo and all that stuff, I guess people just wanted that more. I miss the old Veve excitement. 2019 to 2020. Drops were more fun. Level 97 equals crazy, yeah. Well, Veve wasn't a thing in 2019. I mean, Omi was, right? But I don't think like the first Veve drop for Todd wasn't until late 2020, right? I mean, we could just find out right here. I'm just gonna open up a, because Todd was like November of 2020, right? Details October 2020. So I get what you mean. Yeah. So like 2020, if you're like extremely early, 2021. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff. I didn't show up till October. So I was like I didn't show up until like Veve was almost like a full year, you know, it's been around for like a full year. Because like my very first drop, the first drop I went for was the, what's it called? Golden Moments, but it was like Elsa. Like I don't think I made the Homer one in time or whatever, but that cul-de-sac comic with the steak in it, what was that about again? Galactus had cool animation too. Yeah. Did I add Galactus? Did I add these? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're at 7 right now. Here, I'll show the 7 that we have. Whoops, I did not mean to duplicate these. All right, this is what we have right now. I know it's kind of hard to see. I like that they're all like different sizes. That's a bit weird. So we have Vader, Ken and Ryu, Michelangelo, Grogu, Spidey 2099, and Galactus. So we have 7 so far. The cul-de-sac one with the steak in it, that one was weird. I'm also slowing down a bit so I can actually like look at some of these collectibles. Was it this one? No, Addiction. Oh yeah, Addiction also was the one that had this 11.0. Which doesn't exist, as far as I know. I completely forgot this was even a drop, to be honest. Honestly, I've only played the original Assassin's Creed, and even then, I didn't beat the whole game. Like, I have nothing against the game. I did hear that like Black Flag is one of the more popular ones. I do think a lot of people say it's like a top. It's like a top 3 of like all the ones that have come out, at least. Chuchu says, in my opinion, we need gaming. Use our collectibles and game multiplayer experiences. Isn't that coming with Collect Chain? Well, they would have to enable it, right? Like, I think what's more likely is like we would somehow use our collectible like in the game versus like using our collectible, like we would get like a copy of it in a game or something like that versus like us actually taking our collectible and like enabling the blockchain and like we're actually playing as our like, you know, mint number 2319 collectible in the game. Like I think what's more likely, it's like if you have this collectible, you get a copy of that character in this game and you can play as that character. Possibly, I don't know. But that's why I'm more excited for the Collect Chain than anything this year, because I think that's what's really going to enable like the gamification and the utility and all that stuff. And like honestly, like Veve's done what they can, but Veve's also trying to do like 27 different things at the same time, and they're doing a lot of it great. But you know, they tried like gamification. I don't know if they tried it with like the Veveverse thing at all, but like right now, I'd be surprised if more than like 5% of the user base like uses the Veveverse like more than once a month. And I think like all the utility, all that stuff, I think is going to be enabled on the collect side. I think Veve's going to have those conversations with like the IPs, but like Veve's not going to be able to do it themselves. They're going to be like, hey, like we know this collect chain that can actually enable like utility. You can link your this account, do this, because like right now we haven't had anything where you like link your account to Veve and there's just like a direct enable to like your account or whatever, right? It's just been like a referral code. Like, all right, plug in this referral code in your Disney Plus account and you get a free 3 months, right? Back with like the Disney Golden Moments, or you know, you'll get a code and you can enable this, or get like vice versa. But nothing that's like been like directly linked and it's like seamless and they can like continually do it over and over. That's the way I see it. So I think that's why it's like, you know, Veve's doing a lot of great stuff, but I think they are going to be just the ambassadors essentially, or basically the people that let the licensors know like, hey, we have this like blockchain. It's not them, right? But we know someone that has this blockchain site that will like honor the licensor fees, do all this stuff. You'll get paid, and they'll try and make everything as seamless as possible, integrate into your systems or vice versa, or whatever they're going to do. Because I think that's been like the biggest hurdle with like Veve's. Like they want to do all this stuff, but it's like I do feel like they're asking like some of these IPs or licensors to like do a lot of legwork to like enable it or to do it. Like the Funko thing was pretty cool. I still have a bunch of the you know, Funko Iron Man collectible things, right? But yeah, Golden Moments, to boost Veve, they need to do drops that are attached to real exclusive comics, such as cards. Malin, yeah, I really think so. Like Veve talked about a new vertical, right? I think, and didn't they say that they're gonna have like a new website? So, which is another thing. So like what we have, the Veve app, then the Veve website, which have different capabilities and things like that. And then we're gonna have the Veve comics side, and then now we're gonna have like a different Veve, probably for cards. Like honestly, I think the biggest thing Veve could do right now is probably cards. Like Pokemon's blowing up, Lorcana, Magic the Gathering. What's the one? Blood and something. It's actually really popular out in New Zealand. David, you talked about it. It's called Blood and something, but it's like a card game type of thing. But like, if you can buy packs and just not open them, that would be huge for Veve. Basically like sealed product, right? Because right now that's just not a thing on Veve. You can do it on Candy. You can do it on Cryptoys, where you can just like buy the cube and just not open it and just sell the cube later. That was my plan, because I love sealed product. Just kind of letting everyone else open it and let the speculation run wild about like what's left and what your chances are, and you just kind of profit off that. They said gaming would be part of the collect chain. I hope they do some more stuff to keep people in chain. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like me personally, I'm more excited about the collect chain than anything. Like Veve's going to keep doing its stuff. I'm sure they have drops and stuff planned out for the next like 3 years. And they already have everything scheduled. But as for like actually enabling and actually taking like licensors to the next level of like blockchain and utility, and actually being able to do things like outside of the collectible itself, because, you know, unfortunately right now, like the only thing you can really do on Veve is buy and sell collectibles in AR. That's kind of it. You know, Veveverse is a little too taxing for most systems. There's no gravity. There's no gamification. You can invite people, but it's just kind of a museum, which, don't get me wrong, looks cool. I love looking at the X posts about people like making cool things. But, you know, until you can give out free stuff or do different things within the Veveverse, I mean, a lot of it, and the other thing too, is like a lot of it's just like community generated. A lot of it's not happening on like the licensor side, mostly just because, you know, we don't have the blockchain or like the capability to do it yet. That's where Collect comes in. Level 55. Not for another 13 years. Okay, let's go. Not today. Fully agree. Yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, I don't think we realized how early we were, because we talked about before, like, oh, we're early on Veve, but it's like, if we're talking about the masses and like your everyday person getting on Veve, like I would say until the term blockchain becomes like a normalized everyday technology, like across the world kind of thing, like, and like, because that's really where the money shows up, right? I know I'm completely going on a side tangent, and we're almost done with the top 10 thing, but when people see, okay, like you can put Todd in AR, right? Okay, you can put, okay, that's a Batman, kind of looks cool and interesting. Most people don't know who Todd McFarlane is. You can put in AR, okay, that looks cool. All right, how much is it? 500 gems. Like, okay, that's dollars? Yeah. Why is it $500 when I can do a Photoshop or, you know, I know it's all licensed and all that stuff, but I don't think people like understand that the blockchain is like a new medium. It's a whole new thing. It's like comics all over again, or it's a whole new medium of like digital collecting, right? And I think until people understand that aspect of like the blockchain and why it's important, until, you know, it gets in real estate and all kinds of stuff, like until it becomes like an everyday, somewhat kind of normal. I mean, that's why we're in extremely early. But it's just hard to convince, because I do see other streamers or Veve or whatever, like they talk to like physical collectors about, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Star Wars or whatever it is, and it's like you're asking some of these people to, you know, maybe not this one, but what was the like Michelangelo, right? Let's see if I can find Mikey here really quick. Like Mikey, $40. You can get some pretty good old school actual 90s toys off eBay for like $40, and it's tangible. They can hold on to it. It makes sense, right? And even if you spend $40, you're not even, there's not a high likelihood you're going to get one of these other ones, right? You might have to spend $120. It doesn't seem like a lot to us or some people that do have a lot of gems or understand this, but for like your everyday person, even people that are in the IP, understand it, love it, they buy the physical stuff, like, you know, throwing 120 gems at something that's going to probably instantly turn into 40 or 50 gems after they spend that much, like, it's going to be a while, I think. It's not talking trash about Veve or anything like it. It's just like people just don't understand the concept of like, this is entirely, licensors are on board, this is the first print of it, this is like the first appearance of it on a blockchain. I think that's what the collect chain is actually going to like enable that. And hopefully, like once that blows up, licensors will actually start promoting that they're on the blockchain. But right now, like blockchain is still a nebulous and like kind of a bad term that people don't like. So it's going to be a while. Trooper helmet. Sorry, Slider. I know you said it like 4 times, the Trooper helmet. I don't know about the Trooper helmet. Trooper helmet, interactive one. I think that did okay. It might be good in the future. I don't even think that one sold out, did it? So again, that whole tangent about blockchain, like I don't think Veve's not doing anything wrong. It's just so early. And really Veve is just the one that has cultivated all the relationship with these like huge IPs. And now like the collect blockchain is actually going to be the thing to like bring value to it, like actually enable like the full power of the blockchain to like do utility, connect it to these accounts, get reoccurring drops. That's where you can actually get cool things out of your collect. At least that's the hope, right? And gamification, all that kind of stuff. Like all the stuff we've been like dreaming about since 2020, 2021. Like the collect chain is the thing that's actually going to enable it. Veve is the one that's like cultivating the relationship there. What am I looking for? The helmet? It was like April time where the Star Wars stuff dropped. May. Yeah, duh, May. I don't know how I feel about the helmets. Where's the helmet? Okay, it's later. Did I just pass it? Is it this one? No, it's not there. Oh, this one. Passed like 3 times. Yeah, this one sold like 60%. How much are these going for now? You got to love how they don't give you the option to click on the market here. It's almost like they're kind of forcing you to buy from the store. Sente putting up. Okay, there's only 4. All right, 4 gems for them. I don't know. Are there any of the collectibles I'm missing? Is Beauty and the Beast kind of getting slept on? I mean, it is a big. I mean, it is a princess, right? It's one of the big OG princesses. There's only 33. Only 330 of these sold. Yeah, there's a lot of these left. All right, take it back. I thought this did way better than I thought. I don't know, we're kind of struggling to get 10, folks. At least I am. I mean, any other ones you guys want to spit out? I'm just not a big fan of the Stormtrooper. I love magic cards. One Piece is going, oh yeah, One Piece is going nuts. I don't know if you guys watch this YouTuber. I watch him occasionally. I don't know, like, there'll be times where I'll just binge watch him for like a couple weeks and then I just forget about him for months, which is, I think his name is Alpha Investments or something like that, or something investments. I don't know. He collects like art and magic cards, and he's easily a millionaire or multi-millionaire. And he has all these like old boxes and vintage cards. Like anytime he does a video, he has all these just packaged magic cards and all kinds of stuff behind him. And he talks about his investments and stocks and stuff. But he's also very funny too. I don't know if it's Alpha Male Strategy, not Alpha Male Strategies, but it's like Alpha Investments. It's something like Alpha Investments or something like that. But he's pretty funny. His name is Rudy. All In Together. Is that a... I'll type in all and see. All In Together. Oh no, getting all these all. What if I did collectible? All together now? Well, we're doing for 2025, not like all drops ever on Veve, like only the ones that dropped last year in 2025. Sometimes being too early is a curse. I'd rather be early than late. Plus, I love the prices now, at least for buying. Yeah, and honestly, it's... In some way, you just have to be ready because the floors are so thin. And also, too, like the fact that you can only cash out with OMI. Let's see if I can find it here. Stacker. Like the prices are... Because, I mean, we kind of assume, right? If someone's selling something on Stacker, they either want OMI or... they are trying to cash out. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. I'm going to just drag it over. Because this is wild. So this is Todd. So the lowest price for Todd on Stacker is basically 340 bucks. Like you can buy Todd right now for 340 gems. Like I could buy one right now if I wanted to. Like I barely have enough to buy another Todd if I really wanted to. But Todd, we just checked earlier, he's almost 600 gems. So it's like 35-40% off of Stacker right now. But I think just because OMI is so fluctuating, and technically, like if you are buying, you know, into this, like, I mean, people are really not asking for a premium, but people are asking for like a huge discount on the Stacker side. Because they know they're either not necessarily like desperate, but they're like, all right, if you want me to buy this for OMI, because that's really the only way to cash out and like get money for your collectibles, like you're going to need to discount it heavily off of like the Veve price. And there's not very many sales. Let me look at analytics. Market. Okay, and these are market purchases. This is even off of Stacker. Okay, it's actually a little bit, okay. All right, there's been a little bit of activity around Todd recently. Some people actually buying some like 3-digit Todds off the market here. Yeah, there's been like 1 or 2 sold the last few days. All right, yeah, Todd gets a decent amount of activity. But regardless, it's like, I do think there's going to be a big disparity, and it's just going to continue. Like, what's Superman? Like, how much are people asking for on Superman? 137. I really don't want to like lose my spot here on that page. What's going on? Yeah, 205. So people are asking for like 130 on Stacker and then 200 on Veve, and there's still not a lot of movement. The digital verse, I have a Stormtrooper cross-section helmet mint 444 for sale. I'll let it go for 44 gems. Nice. I mean, I'm not in the market for it, but I mean, that's a very clean mint. 444. I'm sure someone might pick it up. I mean, I would just list it or put it up. It's just, I will admit, not admit, but like, I think this is something we all knew, but I do think it's almost kind of like the wage gap, right? But I do think the disparity between certain collectibles, like, I mean, if you look at Pokemon or pretty much anything like card collecting, right? Like, if there's a drop of 100 Pokemon cards across a bunch of, you know, packs or whatever, like all the values like up in like the top 2 cards, right? And then there's like two or 3 others that might have a decent amount of value, but then like the other 95, 96 of them or 94 of them are just fractions of those amounts. So really there's only like 2 chasers, but I do think it's going to happen more on Veve, where it's like I'm going to have like Miles and Todd and Walt and all these other ones just be like up so much higher, and then you're still just going to have a ton of collectibles in the like 1 to 10 gem range for the most part, because I don't know, for certain collectibles, like we haven't gotten like a DC drop in a long time, so like maybe some of the old school DC stuff or some of the DC collectibles like might be worth more, but with like Marvel and some of these other ones, like we're just going to keep getting more and more versions of the same stuff. I still think hiring 2 of the top YouTubers to work for Veve was a huge mistake. What's up, Bones Bro? In what sense? I'm assuming obviously you're talking about Corey and My Collectibles, right? Or Aaron. I think they both doing a fantastic job. Like, first off, I think Corey was a fantastic hire. I mean, he was legitimately the only person making like extremely high quality, highly researched videos of like every Veve drop, all this stuff. Like it was pretty insane. Like I kind of wish he didn't take down all of his old videos, because I knew he kind of had to. But like I remember like some of the stuff was like very, very well researched. It was actually pretty insane. Yeah, probably not the helmet. Has a lot of mints. Yeah. Both were awesome. They had big channels that longer promote Veve. Okay, so from that aspect. Okay, so you're saying it's not like they're doing a bad job. It's just like we lost a lot of viewership. Or like the 2 more active Veve content creators due to them working for Veve. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see that. I mean, honestly, they were just not getting, I mean, none of us were getting a lot of views anyway. I will say, like, in the Veve is like, so far, there's like the crypto community, then there's like the NFT community, then there's like the Veve community, which is like, so we're talking like a niche of a niche of a niche of like viewership and people. I remember that was like a really weird thing that I thought of, like back in like 2021, when, we had apparently like hundreds of thousands of users, quote unquote, and drops are selling out within like half a second. And they're like, oh, wait, we're getting, I thought, didn't Veve say like we're getting like 20,000? I don't know if that was the correct number, but it was like thousands of new users a day or like a week or whatever it was. But I'm like, wait, if we're getting that many new users, I'm like, why is the viewership on like, Veve 3 or My Collectibles or my channel or Cavell or Taps Trades, like none of their viewership's like really going up? Like you would think like, or if we're getting thousands of new people like weekly or whatever, viewership would go up a little bit, right? Like there would be people that would be pushing like, because I can't remember the time where like people would do a live stream and they're pushing like 1,000 viewers, right? I think some of them was Veve Vault. I remember some of his streams would have like a few hundred people, but nothing like, never even pushed close to 1,000. But yeah, we're getting like thousands of people, like new people every week. Obviously, they were mostly bots, but even I do think like even if My Collectibles and Veve 3 and like if they kept making content and they didn't work for Veve and they just kept promoting stuff, I'm not sure how much of a difference that would have made. Maybe not. It is Reserved Investments. I watch him. Reserved Investments? Is that his name? All right, I kind of need to know now. Alpha Investments. Yeah, that's his name. It's Alpha Investments. It's like 400K subs. Yeah, that's the guy I watch sometimes. Like I said, I don't know. Random, I'll just like binge watch him for like a few weeks, maybe just because it shows up on my suggestion. And then other times I'll forget about him for like months. D1 and only, what's up? Rudy, Alpha Investments. Yeah, sometimes I just, he's funny, right? He has some good zingers he throws at the beginning and like, when he's talking and stuff. But I don't know, like I really want essentially like sealed product, right? Like comic or collectibles or cards or whatever on Veve, which it does sound like Veve's like working on, but it's like, all right, it sounds like we're getting a third website now for Veve or this like new vertical, whether it's like music or cards. I really hope it's one of two things. I hope, me personally, I would love it to be cards, but I think what's more likely is either going to be music or sports, maybe. And they might have like a different thing for that. I don't know how that would work out, but what do you guys think about this drop? The flying balloons girl. Is that a top 10 drop of this last year? What about you, D? What do you think? Cards would be epic. I think that would, I really want to double down on like the nerddom that like Veve has. But I do think we do need a lot of the degenerate like sports gambling bros on Veve if we really want to have like a huge injection of money like into Veve. All those degenerates that put like 4-leg parlays. We need that kind of like degenerate gambling back in Veve. People with more money than sense, That's really what we need. Do you guys think Gambit makes the list? I will say like, jeez, 30 gems. It just costs so much gems to craft your way up. Veve plugged into Robinhood, yeah. And see, that's the thing that like I think Collect could enable. The Collect blockchain could enable. Because I'm not sure how much Veve's really set up. Because like right now, Veve is just like email password. That's like the setup. But like if we're talking about enabling blockchain and connecting your Veve account to like other accounts and enabling utility and all kinds of like crazy different things, like I think that's what really the Collect blockchain is going to enable. That's what I'm really excited for, what Collect can do this next year. I think Veve will do some great stuff too, but all the stuff we've been dreaming about, like utility and gamification wise, it's all going to be enabled through the Collect chain. And it's pretty much going to be restricted by their capabilities, or at least like what they can pitch the licensors. And Vivi's going to be the one to, you know, facilitate those talks. Slider, what's up? Good to have you back, Vibes. What's up, Pasternak? Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Agreed, Collect chain is a big deal. It's a huge deal. You know, once we get everything to the Collect chain, because now, like, you know, now you have all these huge licensors on the Collect chain, right? Like the first people on the Collect chain are going to be Star Wars, Disney, and all that stuff. So I would buy every collectible if they were the quality, if they were of the quality like Hot Toys from Sideshow Collectibles. Hot Toys from Sideshow Collectibles. What's that? Okay. Whatever. Interesting. I never even seen this place. Yeah, I mean, yeah, these all look fantastic. Yeah, these are all like insanely high quality. I mean, they're all $250, $300, right? So you're obviously paying for the quality, but yeah, those all look good. I mean, and plus, and that's the other thing too, like, who knows, in 10, 15 years, like, they'll probably be better. I mean, there already is better looking collectibles right now on Veve, right, than compared to, like, just even a few years ago. The collectibles will always look better, but I think it's almost like the physical toys, right, where, like, the OG FAs of Batman and all these characters, like, okay, they look not the greatest, but it's still the first, and there's kind of a bit of a charm to them looking not the best, right? Like, I'm sure Veve could do a better looking Grogu 10 years from now. They're going to do a new Grogu drop that looks infinitely better, and like the details look impeccable, and it's going to have 50 animations, but the first one is still just going to be this static, you know, Grogu. But that's part of the charm, right? That it's so basic, or that it looks so whatever. It's just the same thing with like first appearance of like a lot of the comic book characters. Like, they look goofy and stuff, but it's like, hey, it's classic. Did you already put Grogu SR on the S tier? Yeah, okay, we need to actually get with the tier. So this is what we have so far. Samurai Vader, Ken and Ryu, Michelangelo, Grogu, Galactus, and 2099. I just kind of put the entire drop. I just put the drop picture. If like there's multiple collectibles within the drop, that would have done well. Like Spidey 2099, there was like the special edition and the SR. Michelangelo was like the ultra rare and the special edition. Same thing with the Samurai Vader, but the art just didn't look too good, so I just put the SR version. So we're at 7 right now. Really, we need like 3 more, and I don't mind if we do extras too. I think we were thinking about doing like an honorable mention category as well. Like, I think at least Gambit or Rogue needs to be on the list, because the quality is insanely high. I know the Involvables were just expensive. Yeah, because it was what, like 10, so 15, 25, 40, 60, 90? Was it really 90 gems to craft all the way up to Gambit? Ultra rare? Remaining edition 0. I mean, this one did sell out. What up, Slider? So good to see your face vibes. Thanks, D. Yeah, I mean, I have been kind of lurking around in your guys' streams over at True Media. I kind of just have it playing in the background while I'm like doing stuff. So, I mean, I have been around. I've been lurking on like Kid Arcade, the True Media. I know I should go in there and say hi, but 100% agree. Hot Toys also does like 20 versions of Batman. Yeah, exactly. So are either of these animated? That's the other thing too. Like, you cannot tell if these are animated. Okay, so this one is animated because it says it, but it doesn't always say if it's animated or not. That's like another small gripe I have with Veve. All right, so they're both animated. Vibes, fantastic to see you, brother. What's up, Vibes, man? Vibes, brother. Lurkers unite, yeah. Vibes, no black pink. I think not. Because, I don't know, for me, one, they're not FA. And two, I don't want to say the only reason, but like the main reason why these did well is because no one bought them. And there was like a 3-day burn on these or something like that. Or like a 7-day. Like it was a much shorter span burn. It does say Veve Vibes on here, right? I mean, that's a big plus. I'm still waiting for my royalties from Veve for having the name Veve Vibes. I wonder when they came up with that name. Maybe next event I go to, if I can get David or Dan or Corey or one of those guys, talk to them. They're like, what's going on? I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of these. I don't know. I'll take sports cards, some vintage junk wax stuff. Oh, yeah. I actually went to a card shop a few weeks ago. I was visiting family, and they had a local card collecting shop. Went in there, and yeah, they had some pretty good cards. They also had some like chart. They had a whole Pokemon section in the back, but towards the front, they had a lot of like kind of like newer sports cards. Like with like web, I'm not really up to date with like basketball at all, or even sports in general. I haven't paid much attention, but like Wembanyama or whatever his name is, like they had some cards of him, but they also had some like OGs. I think they had like the full like Dream Team set card, like Jordan and all those guys like back in the day. Yeah, I mean obviously those would do very well. Like if they actually drop those on Veve, it would actually force a lot of people, including myself, to like do a ton of research and like look up a bunch of stuff. Okay, like what are the grails? Like, what are people going for? Like, people are obviously going to go nuts for like Jordan and Kobe and all that, LeBron, all those ones, obviously. But yes, ask them to say we love Veve Vibes for your intro. Yeah. All right, what about this? This has got to be Potball. This has got to be a hyper grail, right? I mean, it's it's a Potball with legs, 7 different versions. 6, I should say. Potball. That's a grail. I haven't looked at this Daredevil at all. This is a first appearance. Because technically we already have Daredevil. So this is interesting. So Matt Murdock is first appearance, but we already have Daredevil on the app. Does that mean if we get a Bruce Banner, that's first appearance, not Hulk? Or if we get Anakin Skywalker, that's going to be first appearance? This is an easy heat to make, top 10. Reminds me of when I did track in high school. Some heats you knew if you got in, it would be easy. Yeah, I did track in high school too. I did everything a lap or less. I did the 100, which I wasn't very good at. I was pretty tall and I couldn't get out of the blocks like as quickly as some other people. But I was good at the 200 and the 300 hurdles and the 110 hurdles and the 400. I was actually pretty good at the 400. But I hated it because it is literally just it is a 85 to 90% sprint the whole time for a whole lap. You know, you're not going, you know, you're not doing a dead sprint for 400 meters, but you were going like 85% speed the entire time. And I've never felt more exhausted in my life running a 400 meter than doing anything else. I did like long jump and triple jump, and I was okay at that. I was a bit of a natural athlete, but never. I hated anything long distance. I was like, dude, I never want to run for longer than a minute. Anything longer than that, like, I just don't want to do it. What about the pod racers? The pit droid is got to be a grail, at least. Only 75 sold editions. Yeah, this didn't sell very well. I wonder how well these pod racers in general are doing. Whoop. I know they're all 26. When did they start just showing the box price and not the actual market price? When did they start doing that? That's weird. What's Anakin's going for? 24? Yeah, I mean, the floors on all of these are just so thin. Like, we're starting to get to the kind of the point of critical mass where there's just so many collectibles in so many different areas that, like, you know, unless we're talking about all the big ones, like, you know, Miles or Todd or whatever it is, like, it's just so easy to just overlook these. Miles SR. So yeah, like, despite this having, you know, only what, like 250 that exist, like, there's still more listings on this than like most collectibles on the app that have like quadrupled the amount of mints. Yeah, look at the original Star Wars characters in real life. What do you mean? I feel like I said something that would have that make sense, but I don't know. No, I don't know now. Whoops. All right, I'm just going to start saving these, and then we're going to start making honorable mentions and all kinds of stuff going forward. Because I've been at this for a while, and I knew this was going to take a while. All right, yes or no? Does Flying Balloon Girl, is that even a consideration? It's a Banksy drop. It's like one of two that we have on the app. It was a MCP only / level drop. Super scarce. Very iconic. Actually, this one wasn't. Was this just for gems? Oh, maybe not. This other one was, though. Is this one for... Okay, yeah, this one was for actual, like, MCP points. Yeah, this has gone down a lot. All right, maybe not Balloon Girl. I'm over Lambo. I'm just going to save the... I really like this. I can't look at the animation through the website. I still don't know why, but... Also, this picture, I don't know why, it seems like it's stretched side to side. Like the Secret Rare version of this Gambit seems like it's like stretched. I don't know if it's just me or if you guys noticed that too. But for now, I'll just save this. Let's do a Rogue. I think I ended up crafting the Secret Rare Rogue fast enough because it really, I don't know if you guys remember, but this was all about speed. Like the evolvables was just like, I think some of the early drops like Punisher, I think it was all the same day. So like it was like buy. You just had to be very quick. And then other times it was like, all right, we're gonna do the common and uncommon today, but like an hour apart. And like the next day we'll do like the rare, ultra rare, but like an hour apart. But we're gonna do 90s Rogue because that's the one that people want. These stormtroopers. Oh yeah, I forgot like May, June. All right, not for a few months. We're gonna get another Star Wars coming up here in a few months. Dude, what was the drop? Okay, it was with the helmets. Where you had to like burn. Yeah, this one you had to burn a Vader. This one was a lightsaber. This one was a Rancor. Dude, I remember Rancors like blew up because of this. How much are Rancors going for right now? $80? Okay. Yeah. See, this is just, it's just too many helmets. So we have 5 helmets here. 4 more helmets here. I think honestly, by the time this happened, I think Veve wanted this one to sell out. And I remember they were really hyping this one up about like, this is the first time it's ever been seen inside of a helmet and this and that. Although I do think, I mean, this happened in May, right? But I do think there was someone on X made a Reddit post or kind of linked a Reddit post from like years ago that did show the inside of a helmet. And it was like an official, I don't know if it was like an old article of like a magazine or something like that. But like, I think by this point we were just having like helmet fatigue. Like I was just over helmets by this point. I hate the 400. I ran the 100. Then I did shot put and discus my last 2 years. Yeah. There was a certain point where like, we didn't really have a whole lot of people on our track team. We were very good. Like our high school was super small, but we actually had like a lot of athletes and just a lot of family, you know, a lot of family just kind of put their kids through the same high school, like locally. So they were athletic, their kids were athletic, and they just put them through the same high school and stuff. But yeah, we were losing to a lot of schools just because they had like, you know, like 200 kids on the track team, and they would all place like 4th through 9th and still get a bunch of points. So we would just, even though I got first place, we would still lose a lot of these meets just because like some schools just had a bunch of people that would place later. And eventually my track coach was like, because I wanted to just try a bunch of different things. I'm like, dude, I just want to try like the 200, the 110 hurdles, the 400, and then like, because you can only do, I think, 4 different events for the day. And then occasionally I would do like shot put or discus just for fun. If it was like a random invitational or something like that. But I think the fastest 400 I ran was a 49 something. So I did run like a sub 50 400, which is pretty quick. I didn't go past like locals for, I did go to sections for the 300 hurdles and the 110? Did I do both? Or was it just for the 200? I don't know. It's been so long. But there was this one guy that was like 6'6", like in this other high school, and me and him would always compete like in the 110 hurdles and stuff. So it was pretty much always down to us two. He would like step over the hurdles because he was so tall. I'm 6'2", 6'3" roughly. I was kind of in between. I think I've gotten a bit shorter, so I'm like 6'2" now. But he would just step over the hurdles. But I was faster between the hurdles, but he would just step over them. All right, just save Jubilee. I'll save the SR edition. Jubilee. Misspelled it, but who cares? Ooh, I did forget about Winter Soldier. I actually want to save the ultra rare. I do think this was a cool drop. It's also a cool character. There's some people that are like big fans. There was this girl at my old work. She was a huge like Marvel fan. She loved Steve Rogers and all these people, but she like weirdly enough she loved Winter Soldier more than like anything. Probably not as much as Captain America, but it was definitely like a top 3 character for her. Yeah, she like really liked Winter Soldier. I know the SR is the one that everyone wants, but the... Oh, hello. Okay, that was weird. I gotta reload all this. All right, I think we're up to 10 now. I might do 1 or 2 more. I haven't been paying attention to the comics at all. Really, the only super memorable one that I remember is Silver Surfer #1. And that was kind of it. Even though this is the first appearance of Prowler, I believe. So this one was pretty good. I actually have... oh, I sold it. I did have the SR of this, but I sold it not too long ago. I still have the Ultra Rare. And I know there was like a handful of comics that had like a B tier, like a C tier FA, but like no one bought it, and there was like a huge burn, and there's like less than 1,000. Like I know there's a few of those comics like that too. That happened last year. This one was decent too. I think this one also had like a big burn. I remember stacking. Yeah, I have 18 of these. I didn't even realize I had this many of these. I was buying up commons for relatively cheap. At least I thought I was. Like, how much did I buy this one for? Yeah, I paid $2 for this one. Now it's like $4, so. I don't know, these early comic runs, like the 1 through 10s, if it's like a very cheap common, I do think eventually people are going to want, 1 through 10 X-Men, 1 through 10 Fantastic Four, 1 through 10 Avengers or whatever, like New Mutants, whatever it is. Where's Silver Surfer? Is it later in the month? Like Red Guardian, I do think, I could be mistaken, but I do think Sleeping Comics has quite a few of these just because this one had like a big burn. Common, uncommon, sold editions, burn. Yeah, there's only like 15. Yeah, there's 1,400 of these. So like not many at all. And like, Red Guardian made an appearance in one of the recent movies. I forgot the name of it, but Like, that's not one I understand or care for. I think same thing with this one, too. First full appearance of John Walker. Yeah, there's like less than 1,000 of these in circulation, and, you know, price is sky high because there's like hardly in circulation. What's this one? First appearance of Ghost. Yeah, there's about 1,000 of these. Slider says, yeah, so was my high school. 1A, very small, 49 is a good time. Our 4x4 team won state. I came in 8th in state for shot put, didn't make it in discus, but I threw 50, 52 in shot. I won 40 my discus best. Nice. I don't know if I haven't done discus or shot put enough to know if those are good numbers, but if you made state, then yeah, those got to be good numbers. Yeah, like for doing the 400, if you could break 50 seconds, that was like a big, you know, that's a big deal. If you could break 50 seconds, because that's basically like running 4 back-to-back 12.5 second, you know, 100-meter sprints essentially, right? Which 12.5 seconds, like, it's just one dead sprint is like not, you know, it's not very fast. But doing 4 of them back-to-back, like, yeah, that's pretty darn quick. Like I said, like, you're just running 90% speed the entire time. 400 was terrible. I think everyone remembers, at least if you ran one, I think everyone remembers their very first 400 ever. I remember, like, my coach, he's like, I think you'd be good at it, because I did a couple, like, 200s or 100. He's like, yeah, it's just like the 200. You just do it twice back-to-back. I'm like, all right. And sure, yeah. I just did the 200 like I would any other 200. Got to the top of the turn, of the second turn. I'm like, my legs were just cramping and on fire. I'm like, dude, in the last 100 meters, like, your legs just feel like logs just because they're so stiffened up and there's so much lactic acid built up, and you're just like. But our coach had a good phrase. He would say form over speed. So like when you get that last 100, like, you're just focusing on your form. Like, you still want to go quickly, don't get me wrong, but like just trying to keep your mechanical motion versus like stumbling or falling apart. Those early X-Men are good, and Fantastic Four I got a lot around 2 gems. Yeah. Ooh, Planet Death. But that's a poster that came out way later. Like, some people might say like, oh, like this was a top drop, but like this is like a airdrop thing to like 15 people, right, or something. Same thing with this X-Men. I think I got quite a few of these. I got 12 of these. Like, how much should I buy this one for? Maybe I bought this one off the... Yeah, I bought this one from the market. Or no, I paid $240 for this. Yeah, like a lot of like the 1 through 10 runs, if there's a big burn and it's a 1 through 10 run and like an FA of my character, then yeah, I'll buy a few of them. This one was like the first appearance, not first appearance, but this is the first meeting of Doctor Doom and Spider-Man, which are both, you know, very, very popular characters. With Holiday Edition. Yeah, this one did sell out. Or no, this one had a small burn. All right, screw it. We're going to put in Spidey 2099. Actually, I like this picture better. Or red metallic. Cul-de-sac. This is the one you asked about earlier, Slider, right? Yeah, there's like a stake through it. I mean, it looks kind of cool. I'm trying to remember, how did people get this collectible? Did you have to be in person at the event or something? Or like buy a or like buy the graded version of it, and then like you got a code to redeem it or something. I'm trying to remember how people even got this one. Or if it was just a normal drop. Completely forgot this was even a drop. This like Astro Boy. All right, maybe not. We'll click on something else. My 400 was like 105. You hit the wall vibes. Yeah. No, my first 400 was, yeah, around that time. I mean, I was in good shape then, but like learning how to run the event mentally and just what to do with your body physically is, you know, it's like two totally, you know, different things. It's not different than like discus or shot put, right? Like you could just get some hay bale throwing farmer guy to like do pretty well in it, but it's like, okay, no, like here's the actual technique and this is what you want to do and like this and that, like, that's where you can do like really well. So same thing with the 400, like once I learned how to run the 400 instead of just dead sprinting as fast as I can and dying the last quarter of it, yeah, there's just different ways to run it. I think like around the turns, you really want to have, they used to call it like fast feet. So if you're like going around the curve, you just want to kind of get your feet down as fast as you can and just keep moving. And then when you hit the straightaways, you want to stride. But on the back end, you're just trying to survive. Like the last 100, you're just trying to survive and get through it and just keep your form. But Bon appetit, one small step, addiction. Are there any drops that I'm just missing? Because this is what I have so far. I'm going to go ahead and upload the rest of these files. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything like obvious. Do we want to put the Coca-Cola 1 of 1 bottle in there? That's like the only one I can think of that people are like, oh, okay. But not really. D'Angelo, Miles Morales. No, so we're doing, I would agree, but we're doing 2025 drops, not since the beginning of EV. Drops that only happened last year. That's why I'm only looking at like the, you know, drops that happened from beginning of 2025 through now. Because I agree, I would have Todd and Superman. Okay, this is what I have so far. I'm just going to post it. Sure, submit. Why won't it let me choose files, square. Okay, I have to like confirm whatever. So this is what I have so far. I'll show you guys. Why is it not working? Okay, it was just laggy. Oh my God. All right, so all the ones... All right, we might have to just redo these because they're all... I don't know why these all got cut off at the head. Yeah. Like Ryu and Rogue, all of them got their heads cut off. Yeah, their heads fell off. All right, we'll be quick about this. I'm just going to save the promo picture for each one and then just deal with it. I'm going to go save over it. So Galactus, yeah. Gambito. All right. We're already most of the way done. I think Grogu. Yeah, Grogu was fine. We did it. We hit 10. Not quite. Yeah, we're just redoing this. We're almost done. I think we only have 2 left. I think I saved the Spidey 2099 fine. Let me double check. Okay, the only ones that are left are Ken and Ryu. Oh yeah, and then Samurai. Where's Ken? For some reason, I thought Ken dropped in the new year, but I guess he did drop in December. Okay, make sure they're all okay. I will say, honestly, I think I am going to add the Coca-Cola one sell out. That's the only one I'm like on the fence now because of the one-of-one chaser. And that one also did have a lot of SRs. People were like excited about. Okay, this one like pretty much sold out. Like the majority of it sold. I'm just going to add it so we at least have one that's a little bit different. Coke, whatever. Okay. Why is this not highlighting all of them? The heck? Oh, that's a cover template. Oh, there we go. All right, we finally made it. Holy moly. We can remove D tier, delete row. So there's S tier. Grogu, unquestionably S tier. A, B, and then HM is honorable mention. So like there's 13 total here. So there's going to be like 3 or 4 that are like an honorable mention or something like that. So I'm just going to just start throwing these up, and you guys can let me know if they need to change. Vader did pretty darn well. I'll put him at the top of A for right now. That's there. That's probably B. I'd put Rogue above Jubilee. Ryu. I think he's above Vader and all of them. Michelangelo. I put him above. I mean, that special edition's like very scarce. And I think that one's going over for like 1,500 or something like that right now. Winter Soldier's cool. It's probably more popular than Jubilee, but I don't know about Rogue or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, one needs to go down to honorable mention. Probably Rogue. I mean, we all know why we like Rogue, right? No heads. The Coke is good for special editions. It is good, but I think it's... Yeah, the Coke drop, I like the way it was set up. Like, I didn't care about the Coke bottles themselves or anything like that. And honestly, like, I knew for a fact people were going to press the button for 10 gems. And if they got, like, a normal common, they were going to try and sell it for 1 or 2 gems. Mostly 1 gem. Are you guys in agreement with this order? I don't know if you guys can see it. Is this better? I'm trying to zoom in as much as I can so you guys can see. Boom. Maybe that's too close. This is good. We need one to go down to honorable mention because it's not top 10. Can there only be one in S, or can there be more than one in S? Is this it? Is this the list, guys? I'm honestly just putting red Spidey. I'm just putting metallic Spidey up there because it's the first time we've had Peter Parker in a long time, and it sold very well. Like it was one of the ones that was easily profitable. A lot of people were hyped for Samurai Vader. Ken and Ryu were very good. Grogu, I think, is the undisputed like best one of the year so far. Michelangelo, I think, sits somewhere in the middle, maybe even above. Maybe even above Vader. I think definitely above these other ones. I don't know. What do you think, Slider? Shot put me an answer. I do think Jubilee, the Coca-Cola was cool. Honorable mention. I put Winter Soldier up here. Like that. I want to make some comments, but I don't think I should. The other one I'm kind of up in the air about is putting Michelangelo, because it's kind of the kick of a new... Anytime you get like the start of a new IP too, right? Like that's why I kind of put Ryu so high. Because he was kind of the start of like the Street Fighter IP, right? Like people were stoked about it. Same thing with Michelangelo. It's like the start of a new IP. Put Michael over... Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I was thinking about putting him here. Maybe even over Ken. Like, still rated very highly, but again, Michelangelo's the start of a new IP kind of thing. And at least with the Michelangelo drop, you kind of did well if you got the ultra rare or the special edition. Like, everyone just dogpiled the secret rares for the Ryu and Ken. Everything else, everyone just ignored all the other editions or all the other rarities. And you could easily stack more in like honorable mention, right? Like you could put in like the AT-AT or a bunch of other drops that like looked good, but just were like mispriced or had too many mints or whatever it is. Like there's a whole bunch of collectibles. You could do that as well with, but it only took us 2 hours to get to this point. Million side tangents aside. It only took us a while to get here. Yeah, I think this list looks good. I almost want to... I might post it on Twitter or something like that. I know it's a share on Twitter option, but I kind of want to try something different. But yeah, I'll probably post all this stuff on Twitter later. I'll probably screenshot this. Maybe I'll even remove the bottom 3 and just have this be the top 10. I'll probably just screenshot it and go from there. Pixel Trader says looking good. What do you think, Pixel Trader? Would you change anything? I think I'm a little biased towards X-Men. Got 3 X-Men characters on here. I will say, like, did we get any other X-Men characters that dropped? I don't think so. But all 3 were just such high quality. And other than Jubilee, like, Gambit and Rogue are pretty big fan favorites, like, in the X-Men kind of, like, community and stuff. Obviously, Cyclops, over like people like the majority of characters, but I would say like outside of Wolverine and Cyclops, I would say like Gambit and Rogue are one of the more favored like characters. Like Storm is good, Nightcrawler, Colossus, like there's a lot of good characters in X-Men. Looks good. Vibes. What's up, Hinano? Think it was harder picking them than ranking them? Oh, for sure. Because the issue is like we didn't really have much of a criteria. It wasn't like how well it sold. If it was just based off of how well it sold, and that was it strictly, then obviously that list would have changed. But you know, I know what's up, dude. What do you think about this list? Top 10. HM is for honorable mention. I mean, you could put in like 10 more collectibles for honorable mention, right? Like, arguably, you could put in Mando as an honorable mention. Honestly, Mando should be somewhere on this list. The only issue is that he didn't sell very well, and what's he going for now? $77. Okay, so he's above retail, but barely. It's kind of typical. That's pretty typical for a collectible that hasn't sold out. Like, I like the pod racers. It's just the price points. Like, there's just so many honorable mentions that like could be placed there, but we're just like, all right, a little too expensive, slightly too many mints. Like Fantastic Four, I like the variation, but just like 40 gems and this many mints and this many rarities, it was just like slightly too high. Because like the Winter Soldier was 25 gems and I had just as many rarities, right? I had also 6, but for some reason this is just 15 gems more. I don't know if it's just because this one had like more animations and it just took them slightly longer to make, but Classic Buzz. He could have been an honorable mention, but again, it's another way too many variations. Like these, a lot of these look the same. Like just make the uncommon the common, get rid of the common and rare, have 4 variations, and then we're chilling. I didn't really look at the Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Like, there's so many drops that could have been very good. Like, I'm not sure. Like, even in this one, like, do we need 3 variations of the same? Like, do we need a rare? Like, I'm perfectly okay with a common and a special edition, but do we need a rare? Or you know, I guess this was a craft. Is that all you needed? So you burn this to craft this. So does this one have like the shooting animation? Interesting. What up? What's up, Slider? Good to see you streaming again. I'm late. What's the top 5? Here, I'll go back. Top 5 is Grogu's top, no question. Ryu is next. Michelangelo, Ken, and then Samurai Vader. I'm kind of just... At first, I was going to just do individual collectibles, but then, the collectibles got their heads cut off, just the way it was formatted, so it looked weird. On top of that, like, some of these drops did actually have multiple collectibles that were profitable, like the Samurai Vader. If you got the secret rare or the ultra rare, you were pretty much profitable. Same thing with Spider-Man 2099. If you got the secret rare or the special edition, you were pretty much profitable. So this is the list I have so far. And HM's, I mean, I could have crammed 7 more in honorable mention, but I don't know. I just like the way the Coca-Cola bottles were formatted. There was like a lot of SRs. There was a 1 of 1. First public 1 of 1. So people were excited and just like buying a ton. The quality on Rogue and Jubilee were like super, super good. But, you know, didn't sell too well. I'm also X-Men biased, so that's why they're on there. Galactus, I almost forgot about Galactus, but he dropped, you know, about a year ago, like mid-January, so he was kind of easy to forget. Yeah, I'm with you on that list, yeah. The only one I was kind of unsure about is like, okay, maybe Ken over that, but the fact that Michelangelo was like kind of the start of a new IP, right? Ninja Turtles, and then same thing with Ryu, the start of a new IP. Like, we've had Vader for a while, we've had Spider-Mans for a while, but like, I'm not a big Ultraman fan, so I don't know if like I don't know if these are popular or you know, people collect these monsters or anything like that. Like, I don't know. Or is this like the wrong, because this is Ultraman Rising, so is that like the wrong generation of Ultraman that like people really like? It's kind of like you know, like Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that. Like, people really like season 1, and I think it was like Battle City and Duelist Kingdom. Like, those are the ones that people like a lot. Like, the other ones are good, but it's like, if we ever get Yu-Gi-Oh, like, people want those generations of Yu-Gi-Oh, not like the whatever more recent versions of Yu-Gi-Oh for the most part. And the green truck and all that stuff, I don't know, like, it's quirky. Like, I like the green truck. I like that these were secret drops and stuff, but you know. Airdrop. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Did you guys end up landing these like secret drops? I ended up getting the green I think I got the VV. Okay, so I do have the VV maintenance. I think I got 3 of the 4. I think I missed out on the VV reveal, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize I had the little VV logo underneath. That's kind of cool. But I did get this one. Yeah, so I got 3 of the 4. There's just so many, so many troopers. I'll say most of those look really good. The quality is very good now. Yeah, dude, the quality is top notch for most of these collectibles now. Like, I can't remember the last time Veve had a drop where you're just kind of like, oh, like, really? Like, the only one I can potentially think of, but it's maybe because they did a long time ago, was this one, these Marvel Mighties. You know, you look at like this Silver Surfer, or, you know, Molecule Man. I mean, it looks fine enough. Like, this is the only one where I'm kind of like, like, quality could be better. But when you compare it to like Odin, like, the quality, the shine, like this one looks good. I mean, this released a while ago. Like, this is really the only drop that's questionable. But who knows? They maybe made this. They probably had like a mighty stretch where they made all the 3D collectibles and stuff like that like years ago, and didn't really have time to update them or do anything. Who knows? But other than that, like I said, like, the quality in all these are very good. Like, Buzz Lightyear, I know it's simple enough. I mean, we're talking. Oh, the quality of like all these are very good. Would have been awesome to see another Enterprise or Deep Space Nine on that list. Yes. Dude, we haven't had Star Trek since freaking Enterprise, right? Star Trek. I think this is all of Trek, right? This should. Oh, no. Yeah, this is it, right? Wait, what's under the Deep Space? Not Deep Space, but Next Generation. Oh, it's the same thing. Yeah, dude. September 2021. So yeah, this September 2022. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I just missed these because I didn't join until October. So I just missed these Star Treks. At least like if I was trying to play them on the drop, I missed them by like a month. But maybe it was for the best. Yeah, dude, it's wild. Dude, also, these ships were so pricey. So this is 130 gems for the ultra rare. 60 for this. 110 for the Borg cube. Now it's down to 9.4 gems. And this Borg cube, the common, 40 gems. So this was back in the day where they were still having just variation of editions, and they're all just different price points. I'm waiting on an A tier or Grail comic drop. Yeah, like what's but what's left though? I mean, really the only one that's left is like Captain America, and then I don't know, like what other Grail or A tier comics are left to drop, at least for Marvel, right? I want the Defiant. Yeah, the Defiant's cool. Yeah, Deep Space Nine station would be sick, but I mean, the fact that we're pushing over 4 years. It's been 4 years and like 4 months since we've had a Star Trek drop. I don't think we're getting any more Star Trek unless something changes. I don't know. The same thing with like DC, right? I don't think we're gonna. This is all. It's like DC. There's like DC Direct. I think this was like. I think this is the most recent DC drop we've had. This like Dark Knights drop. Yeah, February 2024. But I think even before that, I don't think we had one all of 2023. And we didn't have any this last year either. So So basically, we've had one drop over the last like 3 years on DC. So I think, you know, unless I'm missing something or forgetting something. Galactus looks like a good ornament. Yeah. Hood. Like the DC character. Hood would be cool. Or what's it, like Red Hood? No. Or am I forgetting something? The Star Trek collectibles still look great. Yeah, dude, they look fantastic. Any of the like Starship stuff, they all look good in AR. Like anytime you put them up in the sky, whether it's a Galactus, yeah. Base Star, that's what it's called. I was like, it's not called a Battle Star. It's a Base Star. Cylon Base Star or the Galactica. Dude, if you make these large and kind of angle your camera to look like up in the sky, like they look fantastic. I still have one of these. I still have 3 of these. Now, there's some cool ships I would love to get on on Veve, because I still play EVE Online, which is a big space game. I've taken a big break from it though. I was binging it hard for a few months, somewhat recently, but there's some like really cool spaceships on there too that would look good. And that company too has been kind of experimenting with like blockchain stuff anyway, so I used to be kind of close to like the developers and stuff over there, so I wonder if I can get them connected to My Collectibles, because My Collectibles used to play that game. So I wonder if I could just get them linked together and be like, yo, you guys want to do some like spaceship drop stuff on Veve? The Romulan Green Monster was high price on drop. Yeah, that one was high too, the flying avocado. I think that's Hinano mentioned it that way. It was 120 gems. So the Enterprise was 130. The Cube was 110. And I think this was 120, which is wild. I was a little upset because I remember telling my dad about this drop. And he's a big Trekkie too. And he's like, oh, that's cool. And so I told him, I'm like, don't. This was during the time too when like the market was already going down. This happened in 22, right? So we've already had like almost a full year, maybe not a full year, since like February of that year. Everything's just going down, crashing, right? Everything's just every other week. There's just like new all-time lows on just almost every collectible. And I remember telling my dad, I'm like, do not buy this in the store. Like, just wait for it to go on the market. And I can almost guarantee you can get it for cheaper. It's like, okay. I don't think, I mean, he's only played maybe half a dozen drops on Veve ever, so I don't think he knew. And of course, like within like 10 minutes of after the drop happens, he sends me a screenshot. And I think back then, like the market wouldn't open for like 20 minutes. So he sent me a screenshot, and like I knew the only way you could get it that early is if you bought it from the store. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, look at my new thing. I was like, yeah, it's great, Dad. I didn't even mention that like, hey, you should have waited. I was just like, yeah, that's great. So kind of past that now. Yeah, you could still buy you could still buy this. You know, why don't we have a Cleon bird of prey on the app? Exactly. Dude, and this is why I'm excited for the collect chain. I think the collect chain, if we can get some of these big licensors to start doing stuff like Marvel, because really, I think some of these IPs, either contracts run out or they're just like, yeah, we tried this and like it didn't sell well, whatever. Like, who knows? Maybe Star Trek was like, all right, we're going to try these 2 drops, maybe a third. And if they don't sell well, like it's just not worth our time to like do this stuff. Right. But like Marvel and Disney, they stuck with it, or they sign like a longer term contract, whatever it is. But if we start doing some collect chain stuff with like utility, and there's like more market activity going on and utility or whatever it is, I do think it could revitalize some of the old licensors that kind of just put Veve on the back burner, just like forgot about it. And it could give them another thing to like reapproach them. So who knows? Because right now it seems like just Star Trek is done, right? Star Trek, there's a handful of other licensors that are just like, they haven't done a drop in years. And it seems like they're done. They have no honor, no Cleon stuff. Yeah. Dude, don't even get me on the new show that's coming out. I don't know if it's already out. You know, are you going to watch the new show? What's it called? Starfleet Academy? Or Star Trek Academy? Oh, I think I'm going to try and watch it, but I still need to watch Picard. I know I've been saying that forever. I did watch Strange New Worlds. I watched the first season. I think I watched half the second season. Man, the review are all bad? Yeah. I've seen the reviews, the reviews and the interviews and all the stuff, and it does not look good. So they just need to put us back on in the writing room. I'm trying to think, okay, like if you could make your own Star Trek show, what would it be about? Like, I really like the idea of Deep Space Nine or like Voyager, where you're just far away from typical Federation space or whatever it is. But Picard season 3 is the best Trek I've seen in years. Yeah, some people have said. I think even you told me like just watch season 3. Like, don't watch 1 or 2, just watch 3. Oh no, don't make me watch it. I'll watch 1 episode. Yeah, I mean that was with me and the Acolyte. When I watched Star Wars: The Acolyte, like me and my roommate at the time, we would actually kind of look forward to it because we would just like hate watch it. And there was the issue was like there's like in any given episode there was like 10% that was good, and everything else was either just neutral or like why or whatever. So we ended up hate watching it. But I mean, there was one episode where they had like a ton of lightsaber fighting choreography, which was like kind of cool. Like, all right, there's that, and there's some cool moves they did that you never seen in another show or movie. Like, all right, that's cool. But yeah, so I might end up like hate watching this new Star Trek show. We'll see. And just laughing about it. I'm watching all the reviews on YouTube and Critical Drinker and this guy and that person. Like, yeah, they're just gonna tear it apart. Part of me almost wishes I started a freaking like kind of those like critical review shows like years ago, like 5-10 years ago, and then I would have a channel like those guys and just tearing apart all these just like terrible shows and pointing out inconsistencies. And a lot of them just like repeat the same stuff that like the other people say too. So it's like, dude, I could have just said the same thing. At the end of Picard season 3, they give a speculative pitch on where Trek could go. That's where I want to see Star Trek go. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check it out. I do a medical show focusing on sick bay. All right, that'd be interesting. It's like a Grey's Anatomy or something like that, or a maybe not Grey's Anatomy. I haven't even watched like a Grey's Anatomy episode, at least all the way through. I did watch Scrubs. Scrubs is like my like medical show. I think everyone had a medical show at some point. Mine was Scrubs, even though like the medical stuff was like pretty loose. Just like most medical shows. Focusing on sick bay, yeah. I would love, I know it's not Star Trek, but for Star Wars, I would love like an LA like noir detective kind of thing. But like on Coruscant, like a huge just like, because Coruscant is just like a giant city on like an entire planet. It's just like infinite stories and alleyways and cities and just all kinds of weird stuff happening. I love like a detective and his like sidekick, like one's like kind of force sensitive and the other one's like an ex like military or like a bounty hunter or something like that, and they kind of like combine their skills to like solve crimes, and they uncover different like bounty groups and like syndicates and evil, you know, Sith users and this and that. Like I would like to see that kind of stuff, and they go to other planets, and then You know, not that like the sidekick's like a Jedi. They're just like force sensitive. They can like kind of tell the future or know to probe certain questions or like read a mind or something like that. Who you got going on the Super Bowl playoffs this weekend? That's actually a good question. I haven't even bothered to look. Who is playing? More like an ER type show would be cool, something different. Yeah. It's hard though. Like, I mean, don't they already have most of that stuff like figured out? It is kind of cool where there's some episodes in like TNG or Voyager where they're like working on like a different species of person, or there's an episode where there's like a being inside of a person, but the person's just a host, and like the actual like alien is like this thing inside like the body. It's almost like a parasite kind of thing, but not like in a bad way. It's just using the host as its like vessel. And like, all right, how do we save the body, or do we find like a new vessel, or like whatever it is? I mean, there could be a lot of like interesting like moral dilemma stuff with that. That would be kind of cool. A medical show with Dr. Salt Bay. Yeah, I'd watch that. Dr. Salt Bay? Salt Bay. Who's that? Is that the girl from Discovery? Or I don't know who that is. What's up, Goat Slayer? How you doing? Some crazy virus stuff like that? Yeah, like, I'm sure they could think of something, right? Or they travel around, or they're a... I think it would be cool is if they were like a medical group that gets deployed to like different Federation planets around like the neutral zone, like kind of area, and like there's like different conflicts and fights, and there's like weird diseases that spread, or chemical stuff. So I mean, I'm sure they could do it like in a sick bay, like most of the stuff, but like I think being sent out or deployed to certain like planets and stuff would be kind of cool too. But what do we know? We're not writers, right? We're not yeah, that'd be cool. For Star Trek, I don't know what I would want. I'll have to watch the ending of season 3, like Hinano said. Medical trauma team, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, exactly. We need to pitch this. Yeah, exactly. Trying to think like what I would want. Like a medical show thing would be kind of cool. Is there a show about maybe not a show, but I do know they were hosted. What's the like the super secret special group in Star Trek? Like the Black Ops people that like no one knows about. I guess there's also time travel and stuff too with them. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what they're called. I could look it up, but I think one of you guys know. Because they were in like Enterprise. They've been in Next Generation. They've been in I think Discovery. Yeah, they were in Discovery. They've been in like pretty much all the new Treks. They weren't featured in like the original show. Section 31. A Section 31 show would be kind of interesting. I would love a holodeck show where we see the adventures in that type of scenario. A holodeck show where we see adventures in that type of scenario. So a whole show in a holodeck? Maybe at the very end of the season, then you see the whole thing was a holodeck. That'd be kind of trippy. Section 39. Yeah, I just looked at it. It's a Section 31 shadowy intelligence agency that operates outside of Starfleet's normal ethics to protect the Federation by any means necessary, whatever. I don't know. I also wouldn't mind a show that's like not centered around. I know Star Trek is always centered around Starfleet though, but if they did one that was centered on like one of the alien species a bit more, I don't know, like who would be interesting enough to like revolve like an entire show around. Maybe the Ferengi, just because they do trade a lot and they do travel a lot. And they have like the very interesting like rules of trade kind of thing, right? That, or I do think a show on, I mean, you can only go so far with like the Q, like the whole Q continuum and all the struggles they have, and then all kinds of stuff. But I think we've already covered like the Q people like enough in Star Trek. But that would be very hard to write. It's like the whole Q continuum and like how that would even play out. Yeah, like a different adventure each episode from the crew's perspective. Like we have this crew and ship, but the show's about off time in the holodeck. Okay. So it's Star Trek downtime. Maybe not downtime. I'm trying to remember like the right term. Not shore leave either, but you know what it is. I get what you mean. From what I've heard, those are the episodes that like some of the at least like the actors and stuff from TNG really enjoyed, because I think a lot of them were like theater people, right? So like any episode they could do like in the holodeck where they could like dress up as like medieval this or nobles or, you know, kind of anything outside of the typical Star Trek, right? I think they really enjoyed, right? Yeah, and I could definitely see how they could kind of pull that off. I mean, that would also be kind of hard to write or like keep interesting, knowing that like everything on display is kind of not real, or it's like very surface level. Like there's really no consequences. Like if they did some holodeck stuff, but they like talked about, you know, because where's that episode with like Barclay? He was like addicted, right? Essentially to like the holodeck kind of thing. So I do think if they tackle those kind of like interpersonal issues of like, you know, either like jealousy or addiction or like kind of that kind of aspect. It's kind of hard with like the holodeck where there's kind of like knowing that there's like no stakes involved, right? Except like there was that one episode where like everything on the holodeck was like real. And I think Moriarty was like real and like almost took over the ship and all that kind of stuff. Like the person from, he would be crazy, but definitely hard. He's so powerful and he's basically a god, but not. Yeah, like, well, there's the whole Q continuum. There's like a bunch of Q. So it would be kind of interesting to see like the power struggle between them and like if there's any laws they abide by or ways that they can interact with each other or how they interact with like other races and species and different cosmic entities. And because we've seen other aliens too that are like super powerful and can do some like crazy stuff, but yeah, that would be like very, very hard to write. I think maybe as like a one-off episode here and there. That's why you kind of see it in Voyager, Next Generation. There was an episode in Voyager, I think, where Janeway was talking to like a Q person. I guess like some people in the Q continuum, you know, they're just doing whatever. They're super powerful. But there was one that like kind of caused the whole continuum to like go into chaos because there was one of the Q like wanted to just end his own existence. He was like, yeah, I'm kind of bored, or like there's nothing left. Like I've seen everything, I could do everything. Like there's kind of no reason to exist. And I think he did like end his own existence. And so the whole continuum just kind of like freaked out. I'm trying to remember how that all played out. I mean, it's been like literally years since I watched it. And that was kind of an interesting episode. That one like really dug into the Q. And I think one of them had like a child or like was a child. Like, I don't know. It was kind of strange. But that was an interesting episode. Like the Q are interesting for like an episode or two here and there. But having like a whole show would be definitely hard to watch. I remember one episode where they went to like a little dream town when Q gets kicked out. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, I'm going to skim the market really quick. Then I'm probably going to hop off. I've been streaming for a while. I knew I was going to stream for a while today. I was like, all right, I'm going to talk about the top 10 collectibles, which took us out like hours to do because it's kind of hard to narrow down the list. But I don't know. It's my first stream in a while. I mostly just wanted to hang out with you guys, talk about whatever. There's just not much going on in the market or just NFT, you know, in general. So I think what I'm really waiting on, to be honest, it's not even like a new IP from Veve. What I'm really waiting on is the new vertical, whatever that is, cards, sports, whatever it is, and really the collect chain. Like I'm really waiting for like what the collect chain can do, what their partnerships are, what they're striving for, other partnerships that collect chain is going to go with, like outside of Veve, right? Like if they work with Candy or any other like NFT communities or groups or even other licensors, like whatever. Like I think that's just going to give it more legitimacy. So like really, it's kind of come down to those two things because I really think those are the two things that are going to like help propel Veve and or like collect even further. It's not even just like, okay, we're going to get, of course, always Pokemon is like, oh my God, Pokemon. But even if we get, I'm trying to think of like another big IP, but what I really want is like the new vertical, like card collecting, music, sports would like be cool. We could definitely get some DGen gamblers to show up, but I have to go. But great stream vibes, good list. Yeah, I'll have to keep I do want to keep my streams to like 2 hours at most. Today I'm just kind of winging it, like I don't care, but did have fun though. But thanks for stopping by, Slider. Yeah, I'm gonna hop off soon here in a little bit. Now, there's just not much going on right now. We're also getting to the point now where there's just so many collectibles on the app that it's getting a little wild. Yeah, gone are the days where you could like click on the market and kind of see the same like 30, 40 collectibles, you know, or, you know, the same like couple hundred like over and over. Now it's like you just see anything and everything. But Rehanan, good to see you, vibes. Yeah, it's nice seeing you too. Yeah, I might just end it here. I don't even know what I'm looking for, but I have been lurking. I'll say hi next time. I have been lurking in the in your live streams for True Media. I've been lurking in there, but I just haven't been saying. I've been lurking everywhere and just really haven't said hi. I've just been kind of just disengaged from most stuff. Occasionally I'll say hi like in the morning streams with Informant, but that's very, very few and far between. But I hope you're doing well. You know, hopefully we can hang out soon, or maybe do some live streams and stuff together, talking about Trek or talking about whatever. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe once the show comes out, maybe I'll start doing some live streams, just dumping on that. Who knows? But we all lurk. Yep. Awesome. Well, hope you guys take care. I'll see you next time. And yeah, have a good one.